I'm super excited about bringing this one, y'all. Making sure I'm going right. Um, Last night, we went to Bible study. And it's funny because even in Sabbath school, we in Daniel. And then last night, uh, it was about right on time. Yeah, that was the name of it. The Bible study lesson last night. We started a new one. And it said, it was also about Daniel. And so, Daniel had an end time revelation. So, we were supposed to read uh, 8 and 9 in Daniel in Bible study last night, but they such long passages that I decided to read them when I got home. Well, while doing the study on end time revelation with Daniel, I bumped up on some stuff that got something to do with the leopard man, uh, rhythm, casting spells. I was almost floored. And I said bumped up on, but um, there are no coincidences. The Lord intended for me to see this, and He discerned it to me as such. And like I say, every time I think that I'm about through with the power of rhythm, the Lord shows me something else. Now here I am in Daniel and end time revelations. I'm reading about the ram and the he goat. So let's see. I was in Daniel, and let's see. 1 second. Let me go to, because I ended up in Luke. So I must have been Daniel 9:24, because I was trying to better understand something there. Daniel 9:24. At the beginning of thy supplications, the commandment came forth, and I am come to shew thee, for thou art greatly beloved. Therefore, understand the matter and consider the vision. No, that's not what I was confused about. Here it is, 26. And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off, but not for himself, and the people of the princes that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the war, desolations are determined. So I wanted to understand that a little bit better, because um, it says something about a flood, but I don't think it's a flood of water. Oh, the Lord is telling me that it's a flood of demons coming from that bottomless pit. Ah, funny how you can sleep on something. And last night I didn't quite understand that. And heater is blasting. I got it all up on me though. I'm gonna catch a cold. So, also what caught my interest in that passage is desolations are determined. So I was reading in Revelations, and it was saying that, people gonna be cast into desolation when they get thrown into the lake of fire. So desolation is you by yourself. I imagine desolation as a place, a desert, a dry land, uh, with those prehistoric dinosaur birds flying over. Ah, that's what I imagine desolation being. And you there by yourself. So to hear um, Gabriel tell Luke that desolations are going to be determined in this end time vision, that all the more confirmed my feeling about when you go into the lake of fire, you're going into desolation and you're going to be there by yourself. You won't have anybody else with you. Like right now, hell is full. I'm going to assume hell is full because uh, the Bible said we are resting, but I still got a lot of questions about that. I know hell is a real place because it's been mentioned in the Bible several times. Enoch saw hell, said, asked the people who were they, and they said that we are the apostles who did these. The angels told Enoch, these are the apostles that did not obey Christ. And it made me wonder, well, are we all not apostles of Christ? So, you know, we could all end up in hell because we didn't obey Christ. And that's what hell is. It's a place for people who didn't obey the Lord. So I know hell is a real place. Okay. But I kind of got off my point. When so what am I trying to say? So basically I know what I'm trying what I was trying to say was that uh so you you come from wherever you from. The Lord called you out from wherever you at. He called you out from the sea. He called you out from the land. He called you out from wherever you come. You come to him. And then you are judged. And if your name is not written in the book of life, then you die a second death and get thrown into the lake of fire, and desolations are determined. So you not, oh, that's what I was saying. In hell now, they all can kind of group together. When you cast demons out, they go back to hell, but it ain't quite just desolate yet. It's desolate, but they there with other people. It's other souls that's there too. But in this like a fire, they gonna be by themselves. They're not gonna be able to group together and conglomerate, because you cast out one demon and he go back to wherever, to hell or wherever, and he come back with seven more. So they can kind of group up now. But when desolations are determined, you get sent to a place all by yourself. You get your own little corner of the world. You get your own little dimension all by yourself. Is how I'm taking it. Now that's creepy too, to be somewhere desolate by yourself, nobody else to help you think or plot up on nothing, just you by yourself in this own little hellhole corner of whatever dimension they decide to sentence you to for eternity. Now that's deep. That caught my interest. So I wanted to get a little bit more information about that. So I went to Luke 1944. These little pages that I got marked want to keep sliding, but that's okay. So I went to Luke 1944, and it said, and and shall lay thee even the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. So that's what Enoch was telling That's what the angels that was with Enoch was telling him. These are the apostles that ended up in hell. They ended up here, the second heaven, because they did not obey Christ. So I didn't quite understand it. So like sometimes to get the meaning of a verse, I go to the verse above it to get just a little bit more understanding about the matter. Just a little bit more understanding about the thing. So then it says, "For the day shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee around and keep thee in on every side." Well, I thought, my goodness, that sounds so familiar, but in a different undertone. I says, it's funny how the Lord had Luke to say, enemies, thine enemies shall cast a trench. Cast? Why did he use the word cast? As in cast a spell. Why did he use the word cast? Why didn't he say dig a trench or tunnel a trench? Why did the Lord have Luke to use the word cast a trench around? As in casting a spell. I'm going to read it again. "That thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass around thee and keep thee in on every side. So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. So wide you can't get around it." So they gonna cast a trench, a ditch, a groove that you can't that keeps thee in on every side. A trap. So I went on back to 44 after I read 43, hoping I got a little bit more understanding of what I was trying to understand in Daniel. "And shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee." So it's going to lay you to the ground. It's going to lay your children to the ground. This is a generational curse from the beginning. "And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation." So the next verse in the song is, uh, "Getting down is all the fun of it." I'm going to do a cleaned up version because they know. But we know what they really say. So I assume just trying to discern the situation, that getting down was meaning that they was coming down from off of what the Lord had ordained to coming down to the levels of Satan. Getting down. is all the fun of it, and shall lay thee even with the ground. So I was like, unbelievable. I can't believe this. So let me go see what Isaiah 29, 3 and 4 say. Let me get some confirmation on this. Let me get a little confirmation on this. So Isaiah 29, 3 and 4 say, and I will camp against thee round about, and will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forts against thee. Now this all come from Daniel, end time revelation, his vision for the end times. This what sent me here. So the Lord that don't do none of his own dirty work, okay? Satan is always down for his dirty work, to put in some work for the Lord. Because he's always persecuting God's children and saying, they deserve to get these things that I do to them, Lord. Let me have them. So the Lord is saying, but he's not really doing the dirt. He's allowing it. And I will camp against thee round about, and I will lay siege against thee with a mount, and I will raise forts against thee. So high you can't get over it. So low you can't get under it. I will lay siege against thee and round about, and thou shalt be brought down. There we go. Getting down is all the fun of it. And shall speak out of the ground, and thy speech shall be low of the dust, and thy voice shall be as one that have a familiar spirit. Out of the ground, and thy speech shall whisper out of the dust. And they say getting down is all the funk of it. That's just the thrill of it all. That I get to bring you down. I get to bring you down to the dust because you disobeyed the Lord and you did not know his time. You did not know him when he walked this earth. You got people still now that disregard that Jesus walked this earth. They still say Jesus has not Jesus has not come. They still waiting on Jesus to come. You got people that say that. So they didn't recognize him in his time. And these are the people that are going to get cast into these trenches. These are the people that are going to get cast under these spells. Now, I don't know. That's my genre of music. And I don't know what other songs pertain to this same topic about casting trenches around the nations. One nation under a groove. So I can only speak on my genre, and I only call it in my genre. Maybe the Lord will bless me to catch it in other genres. I don't know. But right now, I'm going to stick to what I know. And getting down. All that getting down that they do. It's about laying you to the dust because you won't follow God, because you won't acknowledge the Christ and surrender your life to him. because we are afraid of the devil's fiery furnace. We're terrified of the fiery furnace. And Daniel three friends, they was like, we're not bowing when you pay. And it's coming to that. We coming to that. It's funny that Daniel dealt with that in his time, and that we're going to have to deal with that in the end times, in the end years, to the end of years, is what it says. Is that's the end of years. Daniel got that vision. Daniel dealt with it in that time, and then he was blessed to get the vision and the understanding of that vision for the end times. It's going to be the same thing going down, bowing you to the image of the beast. When you hear the music, the beast or the image of the beast, when you hear the music play, bow yourself. Now, I'm not knowing if the image of the beast and the beast is the same thing. I do believe, because the statue was an image of the beast. This is going to be the mark of the beast. This beast system, that was a system that they were establishing back in Daniel day, to have people to bow to this image when the music played. Why? When the music played, it's just ironic how all of this is real stuff. And Luke says they are going to cast a trench about you. So this is spiritual. This is spiritual. This is magic. Let me read the last one to you. Jeremiah 6:3-6. This is how come people can't see it coming. See, Satan, he done offered the world so much physical stuff that they can touch, that they don't bother to try to dab into the supernatural, that they don't bother to try to fast and pray to build their spirit man. I had a pastor, Sister Tina, told me one time, she preached a sermon on, you got to let your spirit man run free. You got to let your spirit man run free. You got to kill this flesh. You got to kill this flesh. And you have to live in the spirit. Only do what is absolutely necessary in this flesh. You know, it's necessary to eat. It's necessary to drink. You know, um, other than that, don't indulge in any of the other things of the flesh. Watch what you say. Ask the Lord to guard your thoughts and your mind. Protect your thoughts. Uh, all other things, keep it of the Lord. Because the minute you step off that line, the minute you cross that line, you in dangerous territory. Very. Okay. Now let me find Jeremiah. Jeremiah 6:3-6. The shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her round about. They shall feed every one in his place. So there they go again. Uh, Round about. And they're going to keep you in that trench. They're going to feed you right there. They're going to spoon feed you right there. Everything that they want you to know, they're going to feed you right there. You know, Jesus said, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, Lord, you know I do. The Lord said, Peter, feed my sheep. So the same way the Lord wants his children to be fed by the Spirit of Christ, Satan wants to feed us. And I don't even want to give him the credit of saying those his children. Oh my. But he's feeding those people caught in those trenches or grooves right there in that place. He feeding that flock. He feeding that flock. Oh, did they mention flock here? Oh, Lord. The shepherds with their flocks. So they shepherds too. You see, that's another tripped out part about it. But they not shepherds for the Lord. They singing to you what the Lord ordained for them to do to you for not obeying him. And they hitting them drums. A percussion. I don't know why I keep trying to say the word. Okay, I just need to just leave that word alone because I can't say it. Percussion. Percussion. A drum is a form of percussion, and they beating those drums, and they tapping into the rhythm of the universe. They tapping into power that belongs to them because we are disobedient to the true and living Christ. They can do that. So the shepherds are bringing their flocks. They say that musicians and actors, they are prophets for Satan. Church, church for the devil. Mm-mm. This one said it. The shepherds with their flocks shall come unto her. They shall pitch their tents against her around about. They shall feed every one in his place. So they feeding their flocks. Those that get caught in the trench or the groove that's been cast around them. Really, God's children. Jerusalem. All of this is spiritual. It's not physical. It's not in your face. But when them brothers singing that song, they cast in their trench. They cast in their trench. They are casting spells around people, catching them in a groove. I just can't bring this point around good enough. I'm hoping I'm bringing it good enough. One nation under a groove. And I just thought that it was just real ironic how they would come back with that song again after all of these years. They had a group of children from the School of Arts in Detroit to remake the song. And this came up from Daniel's vision from end time prophecy. I come up on this from end time prophecy from Daniel's vision. These it ain't no coincidences. It's about to go down. The pit is about to open and we're about to get flooded with demons like you never seen before. Like you never seen before. Let's see. Luke say, the Lord told Luke to say, uh, we're gonna do 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth's distresses of nations. It's all kind of crazy stuff going on in every nation right now. Australia, they got these fires popping off. They've been, oh my goodness. It's all kind of stuff going on all over the world. I try not to read too much of it, but sometimes you just can't help but miss it, you know? They got the president that they just assassinated over there in uh Iraq or one of them, Iran or somewhere. You know, uh it's a lot going on all at once. The stresses of the nations. We in this with perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring. It's getting serious. It's getting serious. And right underneath that, from 25 to 26, it says, men hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Now they took it out of Noah. They took it out of Genesis 8, I do believe, because it was there too. I do believe. But they didn't get this one. They didn't get this one with their time tempering rhythm. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Not God's heavens, but that second level of heaven. Hell. Uh-oh. They coming out. They coming out. And it's just ironic, not ironic, that Luke would talk about men's hearts failing them right after he mentioned the signs of the moon and the sun and the stars. And that's all we talking about right now. All we talking about is, hey, is something not going right up there? Is that the sun? It is what what's up, what's going on? All we talking about is what's going on. Not sure if the sun is the sun. Is the sun simulated? We're not sure about anything. And people want to sit around and pretend like you crazy and acting like everything is all right. Everything not all right. If I show you two suns in the sky, that's not all right. That's not cool. You can't tell me that that's just the sun. No, no, that's two suns shining there, bro. That's what I see. So it's just time to wake up. Right after all of these distresses of the nations, that pit is about to open. On top of everything else, the pit is about to open. You ain't seen the worst of it yet. It ain't got as bad as it's gonna get. And if you giving anything, I'm talking about the smallest little portion of yourself to the devil, there's a possibility that you can get trapped in that trench. And they feeding you their foolishness. And you're not getting the real truth. Because you don't want it. You denying the true and living Christ. And then we're going to go back to Jeremiah 6. And then I'm going to read 6 to you because I already read 3. For thus have the Lord of hosts said, hew ye down trees. He done gave these devils permission. And cast a mount against Jerusalem. This is the city to be visited. She is wholly oppression in the midst of her. She got so much oppression in the midst of her. This who you go visit. This who you take down. You take down my people. You go and you handle them bad for my sake. Because they didn't obey me. You go handle up on them. That's what you like to do anyway, Satan. That's what you like to do. Hew them down. That's what he told them to do. And that's just what they do. With their rhythm, they've been given authority to do these things. Just like when they come up out the pit, they are going to have the power of scorpions to torment men for 5 months. Anybody who don't have the seal of the Lord is going to be tormented 5 months by these creatures, by these demons that's coming out of this bottomless pit. This ain't no time to play. The devil finna have his way. He getting ready to be loosed up on this earth. People gonna be passing out. And while you passed out, these demons gonna scoop you up, jump in your body, maybe even. I mean, they gonna make your life a living hell. All because you didn't want to obey what the Lord God had to say. I'm just trying to get the light right. Because you didn't want to obey what the Lord God had to say. Because you were scared to let go of this world and lean on the mighty arm of the Lord, the creator of everything. And you chose to laugh at those people that wanted to live for Christ and do what was right and didn't let money take priority over them in their lives. This thing is real, y'all. It's like super duper real. And everybody just taking it lightly because they had a spell cast on them. And they're in a trench, a ditch, a box. Their mind has been captured and they have been put under strong delusion. Zombies. They zombied out and they can't see. And they can't see. They can't see. And like I said, he's not doing nothing he ain't been allowed to do. Nothing that he doing is uh things that he haven't been given orders on. But he can't touch those children that have the seal of the Lord. He can only touch those people that are in his flock, that he has trapped in his trenches. Those are the only ones that he have any authority on. Those that choose to stay asleep. Wake up, O ye sleepwalkers. That's what my boy Isaiah said. Wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up. And it's time to stop being ashamed of loving the Lord. You got people that don't even want you to say his name much. When you come up into their house, don't be giving the Lord out. Can you talk without talking about the Lord? No, not really. Not really. And that's what devils want you to do. They want you to take that covering down up off of you. They want you to take that shield up off of you. They want you to take that protection up off of you. Pray you be found worthy of your seal. That's what I pray for. Lord, I pray I'm worthy of your seal and your protection through these times because they coming and they terrible. They coming and they terrible. These are terrible times. These are terrible times coming up on us. So after verse 25 and 26 is verse 27, chapter 21 in Luke. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth near. It says nigh. And he spake to them in a parable. And he said, behold the fig tree and all the trees. When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now near at hand, which Luke says nigh. So likewise, ye, when you see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh, near at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with drunkenness and cares of life. That means you can't worry about where your money coming from, and because it's all an illusion anyway. You can't be worried about how you gonna live and how you gonna eat. You can't be concerned with the cares of this world. If you are concerned with the cares of this world, you're gonna find yourself in one of those trenches getting fed a bunch of foolishness. Let me start that one again. Lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. Pray you be found worthy to escape these things. Pray you be found worthy to escape these things. Don't be sitting around here all drunk and stupid and zombied out. Drunkenness don't necessarily mean you drinking liquor. Drunkenness could be that you just are unstable in your thinking, and your thinking don't come quite clear to you, and you make bad decisions. Drunkenness of the mind. That's drunkenness. Where you in a state of zombiness. You out of it. You peeled out, you doped out, you whatever. Sometimes you just done had the strong delusion put on you, making you seem drunk or out of it. Don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught slipping. Okay? And I always say, like in my prior videos, I be talking about how Egyptians was always practicing their magic. They stay practicing. And I just found it ironic too, not ironic, but that Daniel was stating that oh, the light gets better when I get closer. That Daniel was stating that um Daniel says, let me get it word for word exactly how Daniel put it. Let me get that. Let's see. Daniel 8, and I'll just start at um let's see. I'll start at Daniel 8 and 8. And fights the he goat fights with the ram and wins. Big time. Therefore, the he goat waxed very great. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken. And for it came up four notable ones toward the uh, four winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and towards the pleasant land. Yea, uh, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. Who else did that? Who else? Who else? Took stars and flung them to the earth. The dragon. The dragon took stars and flung them to the earth. The same way this he goat did. And we all know who the he goat is. The he goat is the Baphomet. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host. And by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. Which I still need the Lord to discern that to me because I want to know what the daily sacrifice was. What is the daily sacrifice? I want to know what that is. What's the daily sacrifice? And he reached the prince of the host. See, I heard once that uh blood got on the sanctuary. That it got on the sanctuary of heaven. It reached that high. Satan have done some things. He really have. But I believe that Jesus took care of most of this when he died on the cross. Jesus' blood cleaned up a lot of this mess that was made. And host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression. And it cast down the truth to the ground. And it practiced and prospered. I just find it ironic, not ironic. I keep using that word. That um practice is used because he is practicing his power, his magic. He's been practicing all of this whole time. He practices his power. And he keeps us from practicing ours because the dominion and authority that he have on this earth is the dominion and authority that belong to us. You have to take your dominion and your authority back and start practicing your power in Christ. That's the only way we gonna overcome Satan. That's the only way we don't get caught in his trenches and get cast under his spells and get put under strong delusion. These trenches that he feed us right in our place in. And he feed us what he wants us to know, not what we ought to know in order to come out of that trench. We can come out of those trenches, but not as long as we saying, hey, that's the jam. So why? Hey, you can't get over it. So low. Can't get under it. Not as long as we keep falling for the tricks, the traps, and the snares. We're going to be right there getting spoon fed a bunch of mess. And you can go back and read all of 8 if you like. I did. It was enjoyable. But I'm going to move on over here to Daniel 8. And yeah, 24 and 25, I believe it is. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. See, because I believe the first beast, the dragon, gave his power to the beast. But the beast went down. So then politics, so the first beast was the papacy. And then the second beast was the politics. So politics made the world bow down to the first beast, which was wounded to the head. But see, none of this is by their own power. All of this come from the dragon. That's how come the goat is mimicking, the he goat is mimicking the same things that the dragon did, stamping on the stars, that some of the stars that he was able to snatch down from the host of heaven. And you can put these prophecies into our times and days. And I just keep looking over there at that corner right there. That's my arts and craft corner. I got crayons in a box. I make t-shirts online, Angelic Pathways. Go check me out. You can get you a hoodie or whatever, and a t-shirt, a coffee mug. I don't think I'm through setting up the page just quite exactly right like it should be, but that's my arts and crafts corner. So forgive if it look a little junky over there, I'm so sorry. Like I said, I'll be working on a lot of little projects too on the side. Angelic Pathways at spreadshirts.com. I only have two logos up there so far. I have some other ones that I'm going to go to work on. Uh, but right now, I've just been like really doing a lot of praying and really in my Bible right now. So, uh, trying to get to God's will and real purpose for my life. I know it's not just to make t-shirts, you know. So, uh, bear with me. I got some other fine, fine ideas that I want to put there. So now let me start over. Daniel 8 and 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper, and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy also he shall cause craft, witchcraft, to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He coming so subtle. Like I said, he fooling a lot of people with that subtlety. Real peaceful and kind and calm and innocent. Yeah, watch out. He also he shall also stand up against the prince of princesses, but he shall be broken without hand. But there go that craft and there go that practice. Now I was saying that before I ever even read that. I just like I say, I just got all this information last night reading through Daniel. I got all of that out for two passages in the Bible. He gonna prosper in his craft because he's practicing. Because that's what it is. It's just craft and magic and spell throwing. He throwing some spells on some people and some people falling for it. It's a whole lot of people falling for it. He say many. It say here many. Many are going for the game. He gonna destroy the mighty and the holy people. We at the end of the sixth trump. He gonna get us down. We gonna lay in the streets for 3 days, and nobody gonna even bother to. Uh, Nobody gonna even bother to bury our bodies. They gonna be so happy we gone. They're gonna be sending each other's gifts because we are learning what His power is, and His power is it comes from the Lord, and we seeing Him, and we seeing how He do things. He is practicing his craft. Craft has prospered in his hands. He is doing his magic and have been doing his magic for a long time now. He changed laws. That's what they talking about. He touched the prince of the host. changing the Sabbath to Sunday. And got a lot of people, sun worshiping, and they don't even know it. You got a lot of people practicing witchcraft and they don't even know it. They think they're doing the things of the Lord. This is real cruel stuff he's doing. Acting like he coming in peace. Being real slick and subtle. Surely you won't die. Yeah, but we died. We died the minute we ate that forbidden fruit. We died. And you tricked us. And I still don't know what trick you played to trick us out of heaven and get us kicked out. And you snatched us up out of heaven. You grabbed those stars with your tail and you flung us down here to this earth. And you've been stomping on us ever since, down to the ground, making stardust out of us, beating us down. You dirty devil. You dirty devil. And some of us, you got really working for you. Some of us are so afraid of you that you got them working on your squad. And they singing prophecy to us. They casting their spells on us through your rhythm, through your funkadelic. What kind of nonsense word is that? Only in Satan's world. Uh, it's something I want to tell you from the Funkadelics from another song that I just can't seem to remember. I keep trying to remember it, and it must not pertain to this particular video. The Lord must a later time. Um, I think I've said all that I wanted to say on this video. I pray the Lord has used me how He wanted to. I love you. The Lord loves you. His precious Son, Jesus Christ, loves you. And pray you be found worthy to escape these things that's about to come on the earth. All right. Talk to you later. Bye bye.